Sports persons need a lot of psychological help, but your coach should provide first bit of psychological help, especially in learning days. Your parents also should be able to provide psychological help, but nowadays they are quite hungry for performance in their children. So they are in hurry to do mistakes. Thirdly, sports psychologist. Who is a sports psychologist who can help the sports person? First, sports psychologist himself should be a player, or at least he should have participated in a major sport, because he understands what is a hamstring pain, how does a muscle cramp pains, how a sports person feels when he is recovering from an injury, what happens after surgery, how does a sports boy or a girl consume their food during their training and during their competitions. But if anybody who doesn't have any of these experiences, he cannot be claim himself as a sports psychologist, despite of intelligence and trainings and courses. The next question is, just meditation, calming the mind alone is not going to help the player. For example, power sports, where a player requires a tremendous amount of aggression, adrenergic responses, adrenergic behavior during his competitive periods. But if you calm down completely, this is not going to help him. At the same time, sports persons with a adrenergic behavior in themselves, very aggressive people, type 1 personalities. These are the people who requires calming down during the resting periods. So you require calming down and also arousal mechanisms. People do not understand the difference between a calming down and arousal. Arousal also required for a 100-meter sprinter, for a boxer, for a taekwondo player. Everybody needs a tremendous arousal mechanism before their sport. Mind should be calm, but emotion should be aroused. So it is not the anger, it is the emotional competence. People just, keep giving left and right, same old procedures, but this is entirely different from a competitive sport. And thirdly, psychiatrist, common psychologist, providing a very serious advice to a very senior competitive sports person. Not all, but some of them are good, but some of their approach is very bad. First they will tell you, you are not able to do this, you are down, you are anxious. So using these negative remarks on the player is not good. Your communication itself should begin with saying, you are strong, you have done this, you are going to do this, you have the ability, your physical fitness is very good, your skill acquisition is better than other players. Like that, you need to, even to start a talk with a player, you need to use all these terminologies. Approach has to be completely different. Having served with ice hockey team, men's hockey teams, many athletic teams all over the world, I have understood sports people require an entirely different approach of psychological counseling, psychological support. You require to calm them down so that you enrich emotional competence. At the same time, you need to arouse them when there is a requirement. A lot of young people trying to become psychologists, and all these people, my request is, when you handle competitive sports person, your approach should be entirely different. If you don't travel with them, if you don't sleep with the sports person, actually you have no right to advise only. Sitting in an AC room cannot advise a sports person on his psychological makeup. So you are most welcome to contact me to guide you and to send you to better people. And many of the time you don't require greater help. But yes, sometimes do require very serious psychological support. We had a great psychological doctors. I still remember Dr. Khan from NIS Patiala. So I hope this is not to undermine any psychologist or anything. Just I am trying to tell you how the approach should be. Arousal and calming down should not be confused at. If a good psychological support is given to a player from very younger age, then it benefits. If you put a psychologist for the national team at the last moment, then nothing is going to happen, because personalities, attitudes, habits, and imagery, self-image, there are a lot of concepts of people that are very well settled among them. So these need to be trained from very younger age. Yes, there are some of my thoughts in this podcast. I hope it benefits all of you, especially competitive sports people.